Hello, I want to share my highlights from Death Café Quinte event in July. So in July we had an online event and we had some great discussion. And again, these are just what stood out for me. Our events are about 2 hours long, so there's a lot of things that come up, but again, this is what stood out for me. So there was an overwhelming feeling of gratitude. Lots of stories shared, gratitude and appreciation for each other, and then also our experiences. And just this gratitude about the importance of creating community and whatever that looks like for you. It can be big, small, in-person, online, whatever you find nurturing, just how important that can be in someone's life. Okay, the next thing that really stood out for me was the inspiration I felt listening to the Indigenous practices when someone dies, and the healing, the invitation to healing that is aimed to their community was just amazing to hear. And we also just took a moment to honor the resilience of Indigenous cultures and just pay respect to that. And that's, yeah, I don't even know, like, it almost leaves me breathless, if I'm honest. Like, so inspirational, and just truly acknowledging and listening and learning and honoring. Okay. The next item for me was this massive life lesson from end-of-life workers that attended death doulas. And the fact that all the education that they may have undergone or learned, doesn't always prepare you for when it actually happens to you personally. When you have experienced the death of a loved one, that personal experience can be very different than what's in a textbook, right? And just to acknowledge that. So taking those learnings, taking those tools, those resources, and adapting them to what you need in your life. So that big lesson learned. And then one of the things that we talked about at the end, which I found very interesting, was this whole concept of voices from the dead. So doing almost like a living eulogy, recording yourself, either audio or video. And have you ever considered doing this, leaving a final message to be played once you have passed on? So there was an interesting discussion around this, whether you'd find it soothing or would it be haunting or even painful for your loved ones. But again, just an idea that prompted some really interesting discussion. And those were the things that stood out for me. So again, highlights from the July event I just shared. And our next event will be in person, August 16th. That's a Wednesday, from 1 to 3 p.m. And this time we're going to be meeting at Satya, which is in Sterling. And I'll provide that information. Again, it's in person, August 16th. Okay, if you want to be on the email notifications, send me your name and email, direct message, and I'll add you. Take care.